everyone, we are back again with a new video, and this time Yash will be telling you how to grab opportunities while being as a front-end developer, and how he has grabbed internships, job roles and everything while being in a tier 3 college, and he came out of the box and did everything whatever possible, and he grabbed a job role as a front-end developer in Agio. Okay, so in this video we'll be get to know about everything: how to grab internship, job opportunities, and how to stay active everywhere, and how to get exposure. So without further ado, let's get started. So hey Yash, welcome back again. So in our last video we have discussed everything about front-end development, like how to get started and what kind of things are important for front-end development. And so in this video we'll be talking about how an interview process is feels like, and how you have grabbed opportunities in front-end development. So let's start with a question that how you have masters those skills, and how you have grabbed an internship in your college years.
Yeah. So in 2020 during lockdown, I started with like this front end and back end thing.
Yeah.
Basically the React thing. So I was familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I started with React JS, then uh, started some YouTube tutorials and made some basic projects like Kubi Tracker and all those. Like that were the projects that were trending there during that time. So I built that, and after that, during like around May or something like that, I did a 2 months internship as a web developer.
Yeah.
That was the online internship. So they gave some tasks regarding HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So we just have to complete those tasks. So it was like just a you can see a tutorial thing, right? So after that, I was started moving towards more towards the React thing. And after that, once my exam was over during December around, so in last semester we have to do a compulsory 6 months internship in our college. So I sorry.
It's okay.
So during that time, so I was selected for the internship as a full stack developer. So the in that interview, the majorly question was related to backend thing rather than front end. So it was related to Node.js and Node.js, MongoDB, and all those stuff. So it was a complete 6 months internship, basically an industrial training program where we have to do the company works, basically their live projects and all those stuff. We have to handle those things. So after completing it, so in my college there is no big company which come for the placement. So I was trying off campus. So I tried with TCS, Accenture, and Agio. So I cracked TCS, Accenture, but I was not sure about the Agio. So I got. Let's first start with how I got this opportunity. So the thing which helped me getting this job was the online presence. So I just keep posting on LinkedIn, then Twitter, and apart from that, I also post on Instagram as well related to JavaScript and all those web development stuff. So I was scrolling Twitter someday, so I got a tweet from one of the software developer who is outside, who is from out of India. So he just tweeted like share your portfolio link. So I just replied to that tweet with my portfolio link. So like it got more likes and comments. Like it got more engagement. So I don't know how, but it got reached to the geo recruiter. So
Oh.
he just replied to that comment like there is an job role for me, and he will ping me in 2 to 3 days. So
Oh.
after that, so this tweet was on Friday. So I got the call on Monday from the company that we have received your profile for the front end job role, and are you open for this role? So I just replied yes, and then the interviews were scheduled, and I got this how I got this opportunity. So I would say the online presence nowadays is more important rather than everything compared to everything.
Yeah, because nowadays LinkedIn and everything, while being on social networking, even uh, Twitter is very underrated because on Twitter for developers, Twitter is such a great place to find opportunities, and we should get active on Twitter as well, like we are active on LinkedIn to grab some opportunities.
Yeah, the community for the web developer on Twitter is like amazing.
Yeah. So like till now we have discussed about how you grabbed internship. Okay, how you went out of the box and applied in three companies, and you got selected in Achio. Okay, but we haven't discussed that you got the like call on Monday, but later on what process you went through, and what things you faced, and what kind of challenges and what kind of projects you made. We have to discuss that things also. So like we should move on to this part, like after getting the call, what kind of interview process and what kind of things you faced and how many rounds they were.
Yeah. So there were three rounds. So, first was hacker and test, and then two face-to-face interviews. So first round, I got the test link. So in that test, there were six React MCQ and one DSA problem related to basic array thing. So it was 1 hour 30 minutes long test. So after completing that test, it took around 5 to 6 days for the result. So I got the mail that I have cleared the first round and proceeded to the second round, and it was scheduled the next day, basically the face to face interview. So it was this second round was 1 hour 30 minutes long, and it started with the sorting algorithm and all those
Yeah.
stuff, and time complexity, and then moved to the core JS concept. So like it 1 hour for it was totally related to JS, and in the 30 minutes they asked me some two like 2 3 questions related to HTML and asked me to code one pattern in the CSS. That's all for the second round. So it was totally related to JS thing. And in the last round, it was like managerial round or a project discussion round. So it was again 1 hour long round, and in this round, they totally asked me regarding the project which I have made, like what are the things which I've used, technologies, and all those stuff, and question related to the projects. And after this, there were some questions related to React, and they also asked me like whether I know about debouncing and throttling.
Oh, so how it went? Like you have tackled everything, or you faced any problem or challenges while they were asking you these questions?
Yeah, so the hackering test went well, but the second round, I was like 50-50. Like I was not sure whether I would be proceeded
होगा
with
या
the
नहीं होगा ये कंफर्म नहीं था.
like I was not sure. Like I in like what we say in nervousness, I just answered some question, output based question wrong. But like I got the call after 30, like 1 hour 30 minutes that the response is positive from the interviewer, and I will be proceeded to the third round. So they asked me like they want to schedule. I want to schedule the interview right now or to maybe next day. So I asked like schedule it now only, like 1 hour later. So they scheduled that, and in the last round, so it was like project discussion round. So I was more confident in that, like because मैंने project बनाया, and if I don't know those things, then it's like just waste of thing, right? So I was more confident in that round, and after that round, I was like, sure, हो जाएगा भाई इसमें तो अब. That's that's the thing.
Hmm. So it was like this was a beautiful journey, like cracking internships to getting placed in Agio as a front-end developer. It was a very inspiring journey. Like you belong to a college where no companies come, and you have came out of the box and you cracked Agio, which is such a great company. So is there any salary difference between front end developer, back end developer, or full stack developer, or an ST?
Yeah, it can be, but not sure about that. But it might have some differences compared to front end, back end, and SD, because SD roles do both the jobs, right? SD roles do both the jobs, like for the front end as well and the back end. So there is some salary difference might come in compared when we compare to SD and front end or back end.
And does Agio like allows salary negotiation while getting selected? Like they say, yeah, yes, you are in, and now let's discuss about salary, or they just fixed a particular salary for some position.
Like it's a fixed salary. So in major companies that the salary things are fixed, right? So if we go to some more companies like they have fixed package, right? So that thing is common around the different companies.
Yeah, I got you, I got you. So for till now we have got to know everything we want to. And I want to ask that while you were giving your interview, and they were asking about projects, so on which project they mainly focused, and what kind of questions they asked you from your projects, and how you have tackled them, because you just said right now that you have made projects by your own. So what kind of questions they asked you, and how deep they went while asking the questions about projects.
Yeah. So they asked me to show my the best projects, right? So I showed them the expense tracker and the React library which I have made, right?
So sorry for interrupting, how many projects there should be for while going or before going to interview.
It should like more than three, four, right? Three and four, like the three or four projects are enough, but it should be like including both front end and back end thing, right? So it add more value when like quality matters rather than quantity, right?
Okay, yeah, so, I got you. So yeah, continue. What kind of questions they ask you while
So yeah, so the first project I showed them was the React library, which I made for like basically the UI library for React. So they asked me questions related to that, like why I'm using this thing, like why I made this project first of all. So after that, then there were some questions related to the components which I made, like why not these things, why you have done this way, like prop destructuring and all those stuff in there is. So they started with the questions like why I have made this project, and after that they jumped to the code base, right? So they asked me to share my GitHub account, and they just opened the project, and they asked me questions related to that. And so it was a React library, UI library, so they asked me questions related to the components which I have made. So mostly the questions were related to those components, like they didn't got that deep, but like why I have used the destructuring here, why I have not passed the default props and all those stuff
yeah.
for this project. And in the second project, expense tracker. So yeah, so I started with the demo, and after completing the demo, they asked me question related to the database. So which database I have used, how I connected that, and login. Basically, the questions related to authentication. And so I have used debouncing in that for minimizing the request call, right? So they asked me questions related to debouncing and throttling, and also they asked me whether you have implemented it own or you have used some library, like directly consuming those functions from the library. So in that project, I have used the library directly. So, but I was aware like how to implement debouncing and throttling in React. So I told them that I know. So they asked me like, can you show that? So just uh, like I had coded that thing previously for the debouncing and throttling thing. So I told them like I have coded this also for React thing. So they told me like, can you show that code for the bouncing and throttling? So I showed that, and they asked question related to that particular code base for throttling and debouncing.
So like till now we have learned a lot, how you have grabbed opportunities and how you have cracked internship. So it was a fab journey. We got to listen about you, and it was a inspiring journey. You came out of the box and you did a lot. And I would like to thank you a lot. Like you came here and you gave your time, and you addressed audience and help them to getting placed or getting opportunities, how they can grab opportunities like internship, job roles, and everything. So thanks a lot, Yash, for coming to our YouTube channel and to address our audience.
Thanks, man, for having me.
Yeah.